Welcome everyone, and guys, welcome to this session of your NABARD Grade A success stories. So guys, whenever we talk about successful candidates, there are always some students who felt some kind of stress in their whole journey. Either they could be having a pressure of some personal pressure or a pressure of the examination cycle. But there are very few candidates who got selected and they are a really chilled guys. So today the candidate that is sitting in front of us is Mr. Akshay, who is really a chill guy that you will see in this whole video. Where we will be seeing that he is chill, he has enjoyed every part of his life. He's a gym freak, he is a movie buff, he loves to eat his special food items that he's fond of, and along with that, he was a member of a reading club. So how he used to manage all these things, and if you are one of those candidates who goes to the libraries, have a reading clubs, how to utilize those reading clubs and how to enjoy your life, guys. This session is all about that. So stay till the end. So first of all, welcome Akshay to this session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So first of all, Akshay, tell us a little bit about yourself, your educational background, and from where you are basically.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, I'm from Malappuram district of Kerala, and I did my graduation in BSc Honours Agriculture from the College of Agriculture, Nagpur, which is under the Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh Krishi Vidyapeeth, Akola, in Maharashtra. And later on completion of my graduation in 2021, I think that year due to COVID, our graduation got extended. So I was not eligible to apply it in the year 2021. So from 2022, I started preparing for NABARD, and this is my second attempt.
And I think one thing that is that I was really shocked when I heard from Akshay, because we were just talking a little bit about before we come to this session, is he tell me one interesting fact that there are many students in Kerala, many people in Kerala who are not aware about specifically about this examination. So Akshay, I want you to elaborate about this thing, because there will be many students, maybe it is from Kerala, who are watching you because you will be a role model from them now. So what is the trend there? First of all, tell me that why the people are unaware, and if they have a little bit of idea of about this examination, so what are their perceptions with respect to this examination?
Generally speaking, people like we said, the people in Kerala are not much fond of this exam. May it be RBA or it may be NABARD. They are like they have a perception that NABARD and RBA is like the same other public sector bank like the SBI or Canara Bank or something like that. And here we have to deal with the public like that. They are feeling so. And even I had an incident when I said to some of my friends who's preparing for UPSC, I said that I'm preparing for NABARD. He was like, I don't want this banking sector job. Yeah, it's like you're counting cash and all every time and dealing with public, asking them to take loan. I said, okay, it's good thing if you feel like this is what NABARD and RBI are doing, then don't come. Just stick to what you have. Just be there. So that's the basic perception. Even to me also, in the initial moment, I also, even being from an agri graduate, I never know that NABARD is doing all these immense work in terms of developmental activities or it's supporting the rural entrepreneurship or anything, something like that. And also the way they recruit graduates like us and the life in NABARD, the work life things, we can say the perks, the salaries, the other emoluments that we may get. So gradually, I also get to know that, and obviously, YouTube was the source for me to. And I think I when I made my mind that I should start preparing for NABARD, that moment or that day, I started subscribing for this EduTap channel in YouTube. And from my first preparation, that is from my first attempt, EduTap was there as a companion for me to crack this exam.
And you just mentioned that the people in Kerala, they do not have any idea about this examination. But coming to the next question, because if there is less awareness about this examination, so how you kind of made your family aware about this examination, and how you made them, okay, this is one examination which I am going to target. Okay. So what was the reaction of your family when you tell them, okay, this is the examination I'm preparing for, and what was their expectation?
Yeah, actually, I'm very fortunate to have such a great parents like my father and my mother. Like they have always been supportive to my decisions, and I've given enough freedom to choose whatever I want. So initially, I told my mother like I may start preparing for UPSC after the graduation. So she was like totally supportive, for that, because UPSC, like for every parent, UPSC is like a golden cup, like something everyone wants to aspire, everyone wants to achieve. So they were also like, okay, go for it. Then we don't have any problem. Like, but after one attempt, I felt like this is not something I want. Even if I give this much of amount of work, if I put it on, and still what I'm receiving is, it's my opinion that I felt like it's not that much worth it. So while checking going through all these examinations, which is specifically linked with agriculture, I get to know about NABARD. And the interesting fact is that the whole process of NABARD is very fast, and it's not like we need to spend years behind it. So going through the examinations specifically related to agriculture, I get to know about NABARD. Like, and likewise, I said, NABARD, we don't need that much of years and years of preparation. Is not at all required in NABARD, and the whole process is quite fast. That like within 6 months, we get to know our future, that we need to do something else or we need to stick to this. And in my first attempt itself, I was luckier that I could clear the maze. So that moment, my parents were like, okay, so you have done something, and they were totally acceptable for that fact that I could clear the prelims. But initially, my father was not that much, he was not that much impressed. He was like, I should have told you, like, you should even attend some other exams like SSC, CGL, or some other examination. At that moment, I was a bit down. I still remember the date, that is December 2nd, 2022. But when I said the same to my mother, she was like, wait, I'll send you some money, go have some biryani and watch a movie, you'll be all right. Yes, I was all right after that. I was like, okay, this is my thing. And later on, my father also came to know that only from these much students, it is getting into mains itself, it's a big thing. So he was like, okay, go on, prepare for it. And later on, after that, I completely have been into NABARD. I told them about the perks, the emoluments, and everything, the life. Then they were like, okay, so this is great. Like they were also for the first time hearing something like this, like NABARD is providing these much of benefits. And recently, I've been to one of my friends' NABARD quarters and flat, and they were also amused. Like after seeing the pictures I've taken from there, they were like, "Oh, such a nice building they're giving, such a nice flat they are giving." So now I think they are kind of proud, proud about me, I guess.
I think you have
That's,
really elaborated about all the journey that how this whole examination happened on. But you have just mentioned one thing just when we were talking about this thing is that you initially started preparing for some other agriculture examination, like you are prepared for IBPS AFO also. But that is what my next question is, because talking to you, it's being looking clear that you were quite clear that okay, this is only the examination, is that is my final destination is NABARD. So
yes, yes.
when you go for this AFO examination, so what was the feeling inside you? Whether you were very serious about this examination, you were say, okay, let's first do AFO and then I have to go to NABARD, or you were no, just दे देता तो दे देता हूँ कोई चक्कर नहीं, but करना NABARD ही है.
Yes, yes. Actually, sir, let's take a usual scenario of agriculture students. There will be 50% students who are willing to pursue PG, post graduation, through JRF and all. And the other 50% will mostly rely on AFO. AFO is something like their holy job or something, like every agricultural aspirant once in their life must have prepared for AFO. It's a pakka thing that they have to. So but at that moment, I felt that I have to do something different from this. I should not go behind the crowd. And I felt that, and saying about AFO, I felt that this is not my type of thing. I really don't want me to see or become an AFO. So I always attach to something more, we can say. I'm not saying that AFO is less or AFO is not a job that which is very bad or something, but to me, to my perception, I think NAVAR is something much better. So, and it is evident that many AFOs have right now are preparing for NABARD. Many the common bankers are preparing for NABARD. So itself, it is clear that NABARD is something superior. So it has always had an hook on me that keep pulling me. That was keep pulling me like you should do NABARD, you should do NABARD. So whenever I was attempting AFO, I was like writing with this hand and at the same time pulling with this hand like you should not. So it was always in a dilemma. Whenever I was preparing for AFO, my mind was not at all fully satisfied. So every time I'll be like into NABARD, NABARD, NABARD. Like I've been, even attended the AFO interview last time. So I remember that I was quite chill at the moment, and aspirants around me were like, they were preparing, they were still reading something just outside the room for interview. And I was like quite chill. यार हमारा तो ये नहीं है, हम तो नाबार्ड बनने वाले हैं. Like I was so chill. I still remember. So that was something I always had, that NABARD should be your aim. And even my friends know that, like you said, sir, about the reading room. I think I'm the guy who has introduced NABARD to the reading room also. And after that, so many people in this reading room are right now preparing for NABARD and all, and also RBA too. They were, like we said, they were not at all aware about RBA, NABARD, the examination they have. Still, people in Kerala is like they don't know the most. I think the most paid job in that too in government sector, and that too for a fresh graduate is RBA. It's hard for them to believe that it is RBA. They think something like other exams or UPSC or something like that. But it takes I think it will take some more time for them to understand the fact, I guess.
I think that is one thing that you have really, really elaborated in a very great manner. So now you have talked about your reading room. We will be coming to that part, because that room, if you can, guys, you will see just some snippets, that is some images in front of you. His whole reading room journey. You can see his friends from different examinations were there. So I think Akshay has really elaborated us about his journey towards the reading room. My next question was on the same line, that this reading room has really played a very important role in your journey. So I first of all want to ask you that how you came across this reading room, and what was the kind of an atmosphere that you have felt that has really helped you in your examination.
Yes, sir. So, talking about our reading room is like it's not exactly like a library. It's like a small cabin. If we can say, like in a what we can say, like a software form. There will be chairs, there will be tables, like that. So we can set up our small cubicle as study area. We can keep our laptops. We have Wi-Fi connections. Clean drinking water is provided, an area for discussion for us. So in these reading rooms, used to have all kind of aspirants, be it UPSC, be it state PSC, SSC, or even bank exams. Every kind of aspirants are there. And our reading room functions like start from morning 7 and till late night at 11. It will be there. And I'm someone who used to go almost every day. I'll be there at 7. But some days, like if I'm having a movie at the night or even I feel lazy, I'll be going late. But I used to mostly most of every day I'll be there at 7 itself. But night I'll be maximum staying at about 10 o'clock, because I'm someone who keeps a track of my sleep, because sleeping is very important for any kind of examination like this. And again, saying about reading room, it's an aspirant corner. It's like every aspirant there keep motivating each other, and it's like a room full of positivity. Like even if someone got a placement from our reading room, we'll be like, yeah, it's someone has got a great opportunity, or someone has got a great job. So it keeps us motivating every time. And during our breaks also, we'll be together. We'll be talking about something else. And we used to have lunch together. We used to eat snacks together. We used to have chai together. And all these breaks has actually made me to stay relaxed and stay cool for this examination. So that's about my reading rooms.
And I think you will be seeing here also, guys, his reading room colleagues. The laptops are here, the colleagues are here
Yeah.
in a very funny mood. So you have just mentioned that there are aspirants from various examinations, like there were UPSC aspirants, state PSC aspirants, and you are the person there who introduced them something new. That's this NABARD examination and this
Yes,
regulatory
yes,
bodies
yes.
examination. So my question is that, because you are preparing for examination that is somehow different from the other aspirants what they are preparing, So what kind of a talk you have with them, and what kind of a help you got from the other examinations also? Because there will be many students who are going to the libraries or to the reading halls, but somehow when we are preparing for some examination, we used to have inclination only towards those persons who are preparing our sort of examination. Here, though, you are completely surrounded by those persons who do not have even idea of this examination of the
Exactly.
regulatory bodies. So how they have helped you?
Yeah, sir. I'm always being grateful about this opportunity, about this reading room that I've got. And because there were, like we said, there were many aspirants, especially in UPSC. And I have close connection with those who have attended several mains and several interview of UPSC. And they have always guided me in preparing answers. Because even NABARD, we also have descriptive answer with the where we need to structure our answers well so that we are good in expressing our points and at the same time maintaining that word limit and all. So these my fellow aspirants who were pro in UPSC, they always have guided me like how we should start an introduction, like where we should add some statistical points or how we can arrange those points. And even in terms of essay, like we have essay in NABARD, like as you know, sir. So in case of essays, also they have guided me like how we should maintain a flow and how we should write it in the form of paragraph. So they were always helping me. And some, in other case, some may will be very good in terms of objective, like the prelims part. So I have asked them how to solve. Like they have even given me some tips. Like if you know some certain answer, you should not go into the options before. And first you have to think the answer on your own, then go to the options, then you will get the answer. Like some certain tips which will be very minute and which will be very small, but when we apply it, it has great impact. So like that, my friends and my fellow aspirants have given me so many inputs, which has brushed up me into an officer in NABARD, right?
I think, and along with that, if I talk about, guys, you will now be seeing two very important images here. The two very important personalities in very prominent personalities who have played a very prominent role in Akshay's life. That is these two NABARD officers
Yes, yes, yes,
who
yes,
has really motivated Akshay in somehow towards his goal. So tell us about them, Akshay, about
yes,
these that how you came in contact with them, because they are the NABARD aspirants, and how they have helped you in your journey.
yes, sir. Like I said, when I started, when I kept my mind like I should prepare for NABARD, I get to know about Aisha ma'am through the interviews, I think from the YouTube itself. And to my luck, she was one of my acquaintance, one of my friends, roommate or something. So there was automatically, suggestion from Instagram like you can follow her. So I followed her and I messaged her like that. I wish to prepare for NABARD and can you guide me? And she was so cordial and she has given me great insights like how to prepare, what all we need to prepare. And that was about Aisha ma'am. And Aisha ma'am always used to tell me that you should not settle for something small. And you should always aim high. And this is the motto that I always kept in my mind. Like, NABARD is something which is at the high peak and everything remains low for me. So you should be always aiming for NABARD. And the second person is my close friend, Afar. Is actually last time we were prepared together and he was there for the interview preparation. He was there in my room itself, and I actually have taken some mocks for him, like the questions we can expect and all. And he was like always there. Every day we used to be in call, and he'll be guiding me like go through the PIVs, go through the schemes. Even if scheme staff from the scheme staff itself, you should be making some points separately and that will be helpful for you for quick revision. Like that, he is always guiding me, and I think I'm very humble and very fortunate to have these persons in my life that they have guided me to this destination. Like they were the guide for me to become an officer. Like I'm forever in debt with them.
I think because the God was always there with you, because the thing that you have decided, you have gone to that examination, which there are many few peoples who know about
Yes,
this
yes, yes, yes.
examination. And then you have found these two charming people who has made this clear that, okay, this is your dream. And now these are the people who are holding you, that this is where you have to go and this is the steps you have to follow.
Yes,
And now,
yes, yes.
guys, you will see, still see again a very good image in front of you. That is the partner, one person who has been a preparation person who with Akshay along with that. And this year she has also cleared this examination of NABARD. So tell us about her, that how this reading room, because now we cannot say that you are the only person. You are
Yes,
surrounded
yes, yes.
always with those persons who are
Yes,
somehow going to helping you in every perspective of your examination.
yes, yes, yes. Actually, she is also my close friend, and luckily we were from the same college itself. We were knowing like since 2017, I guess. So she was there for my preparation, and she is like she is very hardworking. I'm not something like very that much hardworking. Yes, I work harder, but she's like totally a hard worker. We can see that the amount of effort she's putting in, like every day. I can confidently say that she has never been like she has never slept after 5:30, and she is always like she will be always up before 5:30 every day during the preparation, and that's the amount of effort she has put in, and that's why she is getting the results now. And it's like we are getting as a partner for this kind of examination, who's such a hardworking person. It's always a boon to us. It's always a luck to us. Like we'll be seeing them, we'll be always seeing them, and we'll be always looking up on them, like that we need to prepare, we need to gear up to match them. It's like a healthy competition. Like so in our time, sometimes we might have some ego clash, like I may say something that this is not the point, and she will be saying like, no, this is the point. Sometimes it happens. So it will be happening, but most of the time we were constantly motivating each other that we will get it, we will get it through, because we are working hard. I like that. So she was always there supporting me in my lows, and I was always there supporting her in her lows. So it was really great to have such a partner to prepare with. And luckily, we got together selected for this. And I think we are the only two from Kerala, I guess.
I think that's really nice. So now we have the Kerala persons who are also going towards this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
examination. So what was her
Yes, yes.
reaction when, because you both are preparing for this examination, you might have gone to the interviews on of the NABARD examination. So when you finally got the result, both of you, so what was your reaction? Were you of that opinion? Okay, तो आपको मेरे को पता था ना कि मैंने बोला था तू निकाल लेगा या उसने बोला तू निकाल लेगी. So what was the kind of reaction then when she got selected?
Actually, uh, when the results were out, she was on a trip to, I think, Delhi or Amritsar. I think she was there on Amritsar at that time. And I was there in my home. And when the results were out, I called her and said that the results are out. And she was like, tell me, then what happened? I said, yeah, we got selected. She was at the, like, she was in total disbelief, like, I mean, both of us, you and me. I said, yes, both of us. She was like, are you for real? Both of us got selected. I said, yes, yeah, dono select ho gaya hai." And she was like, no, 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 you go and recheck again. And she cut my call. She did cut my call. She asked me, go and recheck. And I had to recheck, and I had to call her again. Then only she was like, okay, so we got selected. And it took her 2 days to make that something into a believable format. Only after NABARD has released the appointment mail, then she get to know that, yeah, we have selected, we have been selected.
So now we have the two prominent persons. So I think that's really, really great to see. And
Yes,
I'm a little bit eager about to know what's her name, because you have mentioned about all the details, and there will be many students who will be searching for her name also. That who is the other person who has got selected
uh,
along with you?
her name is Ananya M, and I'm sure that you will be interviewing her also soon, pretty much soon. She will be there in EduTap platform.
I think that would be now. I think there will be many students who will be watching this interview to see that when her interview will be coming about.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
now, if we have talked about all your friend circle, your reading room, your partners, now let us talk a little bit about this examination. That when you have gone for this examination, the one point that you have mentioned, because you're a very chilled kind of guy, okay, and you used to manage your gym timings, your movie timings there also. But tell us a little about this thing also. That because you are a gym freak, you are a movie lover. So any movie that has inspired you for this examination, because There will be somehow, there will be movies. And when you go to your gym, what was the purpose? Is it a kind of a stress burst, or it was no, because you are only, it's for the purpose of your physical motivation that you go to the gym?
Talking about movies, yes, there was one movie named Vikramaditya, in which the protagonist, that is Dulquer Salman, is being rejected so many times, and later he has become an officer. And in that there is a sentence. It is somehow translated like the victories are only for those who are ready to uh, take failure as a stepping stone. It's not exactly the same, but something similar to this. And that is something always resonates in my mind, that we have to get up in after every failure, and only then we can reach the peak, the success. So, and another movie was obviously the 12th fail, but after seeing 12th fail, I was not having any exams. That was the problem. I saw 12th fail after my NABARD mains, and I was like, now I don't have any exam. What shall I do? I need to prepare something. So I started preparing for the interview. I was like, yeah, I'll be getting through the mains itself. I'm sure that this time I'll be getting through. So I think I should start preparing for interview. After that, that was the reaction of mine after seeing 12th film. It was also a really great movie. And then talking about gym is one of my happy place. Like every time when I'm feeling quite a low or quite like depressed, I'll be hitting the gym. And gym always gives me that confidence. Like when we are moving up our weights, like today we are taking some 15 kg dumbbell, and the next day we are taking some 20 kg dumbbell. It always pushes me. Like, yeah, you did it. You have come up to this height, and you can still, there is possibility and there is room for improvement, and you can still go up on your weights. So like that, the gym makes me in a comfortable state that we can do this exam. Like you have prepared, you can always there will be room for improvement, but you can do this and you will do it like that. And gym is something like if you have asked any fitness freak, they know that it is not like a single day something or single day result activity. It's a what we can say. It's a result that has been come up after years of preparation, years of hard work. लंबे लंबे मेहनत के बाद मिलता है. So so we can say that the same applies for exams also. It's not like one day night and one day and the next day result, one day work and the next day result. It is like a preparation. There has to be some sort of time we should be giving, some sort of duration it will be there. But after all, it will be worth it. Like our body, that the hard work we are putting in, that we are getting the results. And like the same applies for the examination also. The work we are putting and the result we are getting is so satisfactory.
And I think, guys, the thing that I have started this session now, you will see the chillness in him with the humbleness he gives the answer, and you will always see a kind of, because when I am even also talking to him, the one thing that you will always feel is his positiveness. He's so chill, is positive. I think that you can see the things that he's working on. If he's watching a movie, he kind of gets himself motivation that okay, this is something. If a person, if a protagonist is working so hard, I also have to work hard. His goals towards his gym, that body एक बार में नहीं बनेगी, बनाने में टाइम लगता है. तो आई थिंक वो चीज कहीं ना कहीं एग्जाम में भी रिफ्लेक्ट की कि नहीं यार, बनाना तो देखो यही है, बट इसमें टाइम लगेगा. And now, when I come to this next part, I think one interesting fact that you must see is that now you will be seeing the image of the family of Akshay in front of us, guys, and you will see a very important personality that is in his life is her mother. So I. When I was talking to him, guys, before this interview, we have a very he has shared a very funniness with me, because I just told you that he's a very chill guy. But when he got the result of the examination of 2022, I want him to explain this story, that what was the result, what was his mindset about this result, and his favorite dish also, and how our mother helped him.
Yes. Actually, my first attempt, I could qualify the film, and after the mains examination, I was too much confident. Like my descriptive part was very good. Like I was the only guy who was coming with a smiling face from that examination hall, and I was like, "Yeah, I did this. This is pakka. This is ये तो पक्का है. अब तो interview के बाद है." I was like that. Now just prepare for the interview. But I still remember that date on 2nd December 2022. I was literally shattered. I was never expecting something that I'm getting disqualified. It means that I cannot further be in this exam cycle. So I was totally shattered, and I called my mother. I said that this is not something I expected. I think I should come home. I think I should quit this. This is not something I wanted. I need to quit. And she was like, I'll be sending you some money. Go and have some biryani and watch a movie. You will be all right. Yeah, I was all right after that. I was like, yeah, this just you should be always keep in mind that this is just an exam. The seriousness should be up to that level. The examination seriousness will be there and not something above that. This is just an exam. So that was something my mother told me, and my mother taught me well. So just take it lightly, even if things are not going. And she always used to say that even if one door shuts, you will be having several other doors which has been wide open for you to enter, you to have. So it's not the end. You are still having lots of time. And even after this interview, this time also she was like, even if it's a negative result, you don't need to be panicked. We can still try this next time, and it's again a negative next time, we'll do it the other time. And she was like, up to 5 6 years I can manage you, there won't be any financial issues or something. I think she was really confident. Like 6 years, like I cannot even attempt, like in 6 years my age will be barred up to 30. But she was confident, like even after 6 years I can manage. So but luckily and by God's grace and by their blessings I could qualify this time itself. And that's the thing, that that is my supporting system, my mother. And that's the same kind of chillness I'm having. The way she deals with all these examination and the problem, the way I also deal it, like this thing.
And I think Akshay has guys mentioned a very important point that the seriousness of exam or the stress should be limited only to the examination level. You should not be a
Yes,
thing
yes,
like that. Stress is always conquering you instead of the examination of which you are preparing for. And his favorite food, his biryani, has
yeah, yeah,
helped him conquer his fear. That is the interesting thing
yes,
I
yes.
was seeing that he said, I go to biryani, sir, मैंने biryani खाई और मैंने बोला कि हो गया स्ट्रेस रिलीव हो गया चलो अब दोबारा पढ़ते हैं कोई इश्यू नहीं है now now let's talk about this examination cycle of NABARD because you are from agriculture background and there will be many students who are watching this session who are from agriculture background. So first of all tell me, because if we see the NABARD examination specifically from the past 2 years, they are, one thing is merit section, one thing is non-merit section. So I will first be asking you about merit questions specifically with respect to agriculture part. So what is the advantage the agriculture students are getting? Is there some standard books, if the students are following them, will be more than enough, or they have to go through the notes of the material, the study materials also, because that is the
Yes, yes,
requirement
yes,
of the examination.
yes, sir. So going through our merit section, we have about in the prelims we have 40 marks from ESI, 40 marks from ARD, and 20 marks to the GA. And this 40 marks for ARD is something really huge. That is like almost 40% of the examination. Yeah. So that itself shows that agriculture plays an important role in NABARD's selection procedure. So as an agriculturist, most of the parts or most of the syllabus, it will be like in our fingertips itself. It will be on our fingertips, but we need to prepare. And I will suggest for everyone, not only just agriculture students, that you can go through a book called Nemraj Sunda, which is very good for prelims point of view. And in point of view of mains, you can also go Arun Katyan. That's the author's name. The book name is, I think, Fundamentals of Agriculture, something like that is there. And that is, it is very good for mains part. But the problem is that both of these books have little or very less mentioning about animal husbandry and a complete nil in terms of fisheries. So we have to depend on any some materials. I think EduTap material will be more than enough for fisheries or animal husbandry. But the remaining, I think these standard books will be enough. But animal husbandry and dairy science, and for also fisheries, we need to depend on some kind of material. And that also you can the aspirants can go through the previous year questions, like they can strategize themselves, like from which areas the questions are coming. For example, animal husbandry. they used to ask from the breeds, especially the breeds, milk breeds, draft purpose breeds, etc. And in case of fisheries, they'll be asking the types regarding their lifestyle of fishes, like um, something, some words that I cannot recollect right now. Something like that. We can, I mean, from the previous year questions itself, it's very clear from where they will be asking from fisheries and animal husbandry. So this is about the merit section. And for ESI, I have to say that in NABARD, ESI means government schemes. If even if we check like past 2 years paper, the static ESI portion is not playing that much of a role here. The major chunk is from the schemes itself, and for that we have our holy book, that is the schemes tab, which is not, no, I cannot say just arguably, it is the best book for schemes in the whole of our country. It's the best book for schemes. You can argue me with any other material, but still I'll be saying that Schemes tab is number one in terms of schemes. No other material can make this up. And I can even suggest EduTap that you can provide Schemes tab as a separate course. It will be your hit. It will be the top chartered selling course of.
I think that totally depends on the students who are watching this session and on the
uh,
senior management. So it's completely their talk. But I am really I can say uh, blessed to see these words that you have really liked the schemes as you are mentioning about the schemes tab document here. But if as you were mentioning about schemes tab, I just wanted to say that what you feel that whenever you are going through a scheme, what is your perspective? Because we will be coming to phase one part, but schemes are, if I talk about, they are that topic which is relevant for your phase one, for your phase two, for your descriptive part. Even in your interviews also, you can
yes,
quote these specific schemes because they will give you
yes,
an
yes.
additional advantage. So when you have read the scheme step document, okay, so what was the feeling that you got? Because you said that you can argue with me on that document also. So what
Yeah,
was
yeah,
your feeling that you said that okay, this is the document and how you have followed it? Because there will be many students who will be reading scheme step, but
yes,
somehow
yes, yes.
they will not be able to understand that this is what should be the best approach to read this document.
Yeah. Actually, I should suggest you that many also have an issue with this, that it is a bulky document. They used to say that it is very quite bulky. But for them, I can suggest you that you can go through the official PIB website, and you can skim through those schemes, only those schemes which have been mentioned in the past 6 months of PIB. And you can go through only those schemes which are mentioned in the PIB and which is also in the schemes tab. And from, I think from last year onwards, TeamSnap is also being converted in ministry wise, which is also a boon for our aspirants. Now they don't need to go through all pages. Like within the index itself, they can get which ministry is what and under which ministry all these schemes are coming. So it will also help them in revision also. So whenever, and moreover, I will say that the scheme stack has been arranged in such a manner that it is not a paragraph type or it's not simply points. It is specifically aromas and colorful boxes like a perfect mind map. So we can easily recollect the points during examination, like that point was in some certain bold mark, so it was in some blue colored box. It is very easy for aspirants to recollect that in examination. So whenever you're going through schemes tab, first of all, make sure these schemes are important for NABARD. Like schemes tab is a single document for both RBI and NABARD. And for example, I can say that some scheme like the sovereign gold bond scheme may not be important for NABARD, but it will be important for RBI. So NABARD aspirants can skip that scheme. And sometimes for RBI aspirants, there will be some scheme regarding PM Kisan, which may not be important for them. So RBI aspirants can skip that scheme also. So you should be you should be adjust it in a manner that you are giving enough focus to only those important schemes, and at the same time, you are having a look, or you are having a watch over the PIBs, so that you are knowing which scheme is on the limelight right now, which scheme is having more importance at the moment, right? So that's the way they should strategize in reading schemes, right? Rather than blatant reading, they should strategize within this map. This is my suggestion.
I think now, guys, those of you who are reading scheme steps specifically for NABARD examination, here is a candidate who is explaining you that what should be the best
Yeah,
approach
yeah.
to read this document. And now, when we were talking about the phase one here, so you have mentioned about the schemes here, but then also if I talk about your ESI section, still its schemes is one thing that's important, but still it holds because that's 40 marks carries a very high weightage. There are ESI current affairs that needs to be prepared. There are some reports that needs to be prepared also. So what was your strategy with respect to this thing? That
ESI, sir. ESI, I think I completely depended on this schemes tab, reports tab, and the videos, monthly revision videos. I think our star is the only guy we can see the videos itself also. So I used to manage itself, like manage it in a certain way that I used to go through schemes tab. Then I'll be watching your videos so that I can have a revision, a brief revision. And in the videos also, it's in the form of question answers, that is like MCQ type. So it's we can post down the video and we can think about the answer. Like it's also like a mini mock test. So it is very helpful for us. And others like reports, I've always been there on the reports tab and current affairs also. One thing I maintain that I used to have a check on the PIB. I used to give religiously time for PIB that I even if it takes some time, I was really adamant that I should keep some time for PIB in every day, and especially those important ministries, which are I think in the orientation class of NABARD, I mean EduTap itself, it is clear that which all are the important ministries in the point of view of NABARD. And I always had an overview of these ministry and what's going on in PIB. So these concurrently has helped me to ace up in the ESI section. And GA also, I think I followed this document of current app, which in we can say which in a way is also having a separate part for PIB. It is like a win-win. If we have completed PIB once on our own effort, and then there again we have EduTap providing us PIB, it is like a total win for us. We are getting two revision at the same time. So that was my approach for the merit section.
and now when I talk about, because you have elaborated about all these documents, but still when we go to the final thing, because we are reading such a lot of documents, such a lot of current affairs for this examination, just before the examination. So what was your sort of revision purpose? Because you have read such a lot of things, and this is the one of the major issues many students face, specifically
Yes,
for NABARD. RBI aspirants also face, but for NABARD, this is main thing because the merit section consists of majority of questions specifically from GA and ESI, which are from current affairs. And as you
yes.
mentioned, when you are reading all these documents, the difficult thing is revision part. So how you used to revise all these things?
Sir, I prioritize them as in a reverse order. Like if we are having an exam on, say, it's on October, the exam date is on somewhere like October 16 or something like that, then you should prioritize like that. You will be going from behind. That you should first complete October 1st or second week, then you should be going the September, then August, then July. This should be your order of priority for revision. And I think remaining 3 months is more than enough for GA. GA, if we have a great understanding of past 3 months of examination, of the immediate 3 months just before the examination, that is itself is sufficient for GA. But I think ESA may take some 6 months or something like that. But even if we are going through, there will be many schemes which is overlapping. If the same scheme we can see in the September month, October month, or August month, it will be there. So once you have completed the scheme in, say, if you have read a particular scheme in September, you can skip it in the next time. So you should prioritize this in a monthly way and in the ministry wise. Like the first, you should be reading the immediate preceding month, and then at the same time also, like I've told you before, that you should be prioritizing those important ministries and schemes, which in the point of view of NABARD will be important for NABARD. And in certain cases, you can also do that for the flagship schemes, like, for example, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, or the Swachh Bharat Mission, or the PM Awas Yojana. You can have a separate notebook also where you have given certain like one-liners of those points which you are feeling like you are keep forgetting every time. only those points which you are feeling like that you are forgetting. That you can have separate notebook or separate worksheets. So even after going through these schemes, you can still go through those. And I also used to go through the quiz session of EduTap, which is available after, I think, after every schemes tab session it is there, which is also in a way that it is in the form of an MCQ, multiple choice questions. So it will give us an overall mock kind of view or overall an exam experience, which will help us in taking that option which we feel the right. So it will help us in the real examination also. So this is the way I used to revise.
Okay. And now if I talk about, we have talked about the merit section. We are now, let's talk about the non-merit section,
Yes,
which I generally feel when I talk to the students, this is somewhere where majority of students undermines this topic.
yes, yes,
That
yes,
okay,
yes.
this is something we can easily clear. But it really pinches when you have scored good in the merit section, but you could not score the cutoffs in the
Exactly, exactly.
non-merit section. So what was your approach with regards to the non-merit section?
Yes. Sir, if we are dedicatedly preparing for NABARD, like if we are preparing like 3, 4 months, I think that is enough to clear the merit section. But most of the aspirants will fail in non-merit, especially in the computer and decision making, because they might feel like this is very easy and we need to focus more on the maths, that is the quant reasoning and English. But if we have closely watched over the NABARD examination, the QRE part is actually very easy when we compare with other banking exams. QRE part is quite easy for NABARD. You can easily score like about 25 in terms of English and about 15 for maths and reasoning. But when it comes to decision making is completely a new topic. You don't feel like it is like we have given hypothetical situation and we need to make a decision. It is not like that. It is pure theories. It is pure theories, and there I think you should need a great amount of revision to maintain. And even also, if we are having good amount of revision and we have done our part, still the questions may seems a little bit tricky, and we have to maintain a calm and a normalized approach in the examination hall itself. Like it's just we just need a certain amount of mark. If we have seen the past year and it's just 1 mark for the decision making, and we only need 1 or 2 marks. So you should approach it in a way that you should only attempt those questions you are having 100% accuracy, so that decision making can be overcome. Many students are losing decision making because they will blatantly attempt almost all questions. Like they are thinking like this can be this can be that, but they are making a huge mistake and they are missing a golden opportunity to write means by making this simple mistake. And same applies for computer. Computer, like we may find that it will be easy. They will be asking what is input, what is output. That is not the case. That is not the case for NABARD's computer. They will be asking many higher level questions. Maybe it's related to
Akshay, you got mute again, I think.
is it
Hello.
audible now, sir?
Yes, yes, you're
Hello?
audible now. Yes, yes, you're
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah. So regarding the computer also, many people may feel like it is simply they might be asking about input or output, but it is not the case. There will be certain higher level questions, and it was very evident at the time of my 2022 prelims, where all those who are asking me that do you think you will be clearing the prelims? My reply will be same. If I have cleared the computer section, then okay, I'll be clearing. Otherwise, I don't have anything else to say. Because that time, that was the very first time I'm facing this NABARD exam. And believe me, guys, the major thing that gonna turn you guys or that gonna twist you guys will be this computer and decision making. It won't be ESI, it won't be ARD. This is the non-merit computer and decision making that can have a toll on your examination result.
And what was your, because now so you have created a fear among those students
Yeah,
who
yeah,
somehow might be weak or who might not be taking this exam, the decision making on computer seriously. So what was your approach this time? So what have you
yeah.
done this time so that you can, okay, to have set a target, but what was the things that you have followed that following this, you were confident, okay, I will be clearing this section quite easily?
I think aspirants should be feared about computer and decision making because only then they will give enough importance to it. And it took me one attempt to understand that this is very tough. So I think no aspirant should feel like that they can lose one attempt so that we'll be having an understanding. Acha, so that was right. You should have an understanding at this moment itself that is decision making and computer is very tough. And within the even at the time of notification itself, you should be start preparing for computer and decision making. I think 30 minutes a day is enough for decision making, and 30 minutes a day is enough for computer. So that part you only need 1 hour a day maximum. That's the maximum. For working candidates, I think like 5-10 minutes will be enough for decision making per day only if you are giving it on the date of notification itself. Otherwise, you should be in need of many more time because last week, if you think like you can prepare it in the last week or the 2 days before the examination, it will be a big mistake you guys are making. And regarding the materials, I will be saying the summary sheets of decision making in EduTap, it's all enough for decision making. It's just we need to be aware that you are being revised it thoroughly so that there will be new words. For me, the words like Pareto analysis or anchoring bias, then laissez-faire types of leadership, all these were new for me. It is quite new. So I had to go for several rounds of revision, several rounds of multiple readings were required for me to make them these words at least understandable. So that might be that may not be the case for me. If you are having some finance or management background, it may not be take so much time for you guys. But even if you are reading, make sure that you are reading it multiple times so that these words, like I've told you, these words are easily and these words can be recollected easily so that when they ask a tricky question on the time of examination, it you can easily recollect. Yeah, I have heard this word. And if something similar to that word is in the option, then that can be your answer. Like that, they should strategize. You need to memorize all these new words. You cannot neglect because that is the way decision making is happening. And computer, I have seen all the classes of EduTap that I think about 10 classes were there, 10 video recordings were there, and I have made separate notes for computer because this time I was so desperate that I should not make any mistake, especially in computer and decision making. So that was my approach.
And now you have talked about decision making and computer. I think the next important fear will be QRE, quant
Yeah,
reasoning
yeah.
or English. So what was your approach with regards to QRE also? Because you have just mentioned that the questions are coming easy, but still to clear those easy questions also, you have to devote some time and you have
Yes,
still have to clear the cutoff. So what was
yes.
your approach with that talk about QRE? That for how many months you have prepared?
Uh, I'm very grateful to say that I've been having the classes of our VD sir, that is the Faculty for Reasoning and Mathematics in EduTap. His classes were top notch. Like even a beginner, a complete beginner like me, like you can say that I'm from an agriculture background. We don't need mathematics or we don't need reasoning skills. So a complete beginner like me can, and I have only spent reasoning and mathematics. I've given time only after the notification was out. So I'm that much confident that you can also get that level of preparation in terms of QRE if you have watched Sir's classes closely and you have I think even the marathon session is all enough. If it's with the VD Sir, then you're done. Your QRE is on the safest hands on our planet Earth. If he's taking the classes, then it's all done. You don't need to be worried about. And English, and honestly, English, I haven't prepared anything. I just always used to attempt the mock test. That was the approach for me, but I should not recommend everyone to go through that also. You can also watch classes. I think marathon classes will be enough for QRE because, like I've said, NABARD QRE is quite easy. But if you are watching marathon class, be sincere with that you are taking notes and you are clearly watching it and you are at the same time you are solving your own doubts by yourself. I think that is enough for QREs.
I think VD sir will really be happy listening
Yeah, yeah,
to his student that how you should approach his lectures there and how you can conquer the QRE part here. Now we have talked about the phase one examination, Akshay, and let's talk about now the phase two examination. Okay, so you have just mentioned in the beginning that your essays, because your colleagues in the reading room that you
Yes, yes,
have, the reading club that you have, your descriptive, you have been practicing a lot. You were
yes,
to it that okay, this is one thing I have to practice. But now when I talk about the descriptive part here, there is two part. One is the your English descriptive is here, and second one is
yes,
with
yes,
regard to ARD and ESI descriptive. So tell me a little bit about specifically with regards to ARD and ESI descriptive part, that what was your approach specifically when you are writing questions on agriculture or ESI, how you handpicked some topics, and how that reading club helped you. Okay,
yes,
these are the topics which you must prepare for the examination.
yes, sir. Actually, when I talking about the way, way of preparation, I'm that guy who is more fond of descriptive types of questions. I like to type, I like to answer these kind of descriptive questions where we can express ourselves a bit in a greater way rather than just simple multiple choice questions. Descriptive questions give us a freedom to express the answers in our own way. So I used to type like every day. Even before the notification itself, I was adamant in writing at least one ARD answer, the ARD or ESI answer a day. And my questions will be from the fodder materials of EduTap most of the time. Or otherwise, this is the advice to the students. Like you can also check the past year UPSC agriculture optional questions will be there, and past year GS3 paper of UPSC. And but while taking the question, you should be aware that these topics are in concurrence with the topics of our NABARD. Just you should not take any topics like from internal security in UPSC, which is not required for NABARD, but something like PDS or globalization, which will be very much useful for NABARD. You can take the questions as your model question. You can work it out, and while working it out, you should be always keeping a timer. Like you can write an answer with any time. You can make an answer good with all the time in the world, but you should be preparing in a limited time so that you will be having a sense of urgency to complete the answer within the specified time limit. And gradually, you will be writing more. Your typing speed will be better, and you can have a brainstorming of your answers, like at what time, which point of your answer should be kept. And so I will recommend to everyone that you should prepare with the help of past year questions of UPSC and or the fodder questions from EduTap, and make sure that you are always typing within the specified time limit. You should not type like with all day available. You should be typing within the specified time limit. And I can say that for 600 words, that is 15 marker question, you can devote 25 minutes. And for 400 words, that is 10 marker question, you can give 20 minutes. And my approach for English, we have three questions. So my approach will be like, you should give 30 minutes each. 90 minutes will be there for English. So you can give 30 minutes each. And for topics like Prissy or for questions like Prissy and letter, 30 minutes is actually more than enough. You don't actually need 30 minutes. But if you have given 30 minutes, that at the end of the examination, you will be having more time, which you can devote for the correction of essays. So if you have completed your essay within 30 minutes, you can have plenty of time to correct. You can reread it again. You can read it again. You can have a revision at the moment within the examination hall, which can improvise your answers within the specified time limit, which is actually a great advantage. So I used to keep it like 30 minutes for essay, 30 minutes for pre 30 minutes for English. Letter writing. And for this Prissy, I used to take the Hindu editorials from where I used to make small paragraph, and I used to make my own phrases from that, which is very helpful. And for essays also, I used to go through the fodder materials for random topics, and I used to give it to one after writing it, I used to give it to the chat GPT also. So they have a better answer, and I will compare it with both of us. If we are having similar points, I'll be like, yeah, good. And I also give my answer to both ChatGPT and Grammarly. Grammarly is pure grammar check, while ChatGPT will give us a brief idea like, yeah, you have mentioned this, you can also mention this. And I should say that you should use the technologies well. And even for any sort of preparation ChatGPT will come in handy. It will be very handy to use. And regarding, I should say, if you are taking Grammarly, don't be too much demotivated because it's an AI, it's a language. It will be always finding mistake whether we are perfect. It will be always finding mistakes. So you should not get demotivated with the scores of Grammarly. You should at least maintain in between some 50 to 60. That's enough for I think NABARD. That is more than enough because I think those who are checking our papers are human, not Grammarly because the answer should be in a human format. You should not be that much perfect like in a Grammarly form. That's
And
it.
now I think you have really elaborated in a very great manner with respect to the descriptive part. And I think
Yes.
students, you must understand each and every point because the elaborative part that which he has explained is really nice. Now, when I talk about the objective part of this examination, the ESI and ARD objective paper of 50 marks here. So, what was your approach with respect to the phase two part? Were you being preparing this examination as you are preparing schemes? I can say because you have just elaborated that yes, you were on trot with the phase two part. But with respect to the other question, because this year the examination was not that much easy. It looks
Yes, yes, yes.
easy, but the questions specifically in the objective part are becoming tougher year by year. So what was your approach towards these questions?
So regarding the objective part, the first thing I did was I went through almost all the previous year question of phase two, and I got an understanding that NABARD is focusing on flagship schemes and the most important reports that might be released in the nearby months. And in case of agriculture, there was a trend that they are following animal husbandry and soil science. But I had an intuition that there won't be that much of animal husbandry this time. Or even if it does, you should be prepared. But at the same time, you should focus on almost all parts of ARD. ARD, because ARD is something I think NABARD is promoting. NABARD is promoting, or NABARD is giving huge weightage. So the thing I did that I never missed any part of ARD, and at the same time I focused more on the flagship schemes because NABARD is focusing on the flagship schemes like the MGNRGA or like I said the PM Awas Yojana or Swachh Bharat Mission. Yeah, that is very much evident from the past year question. And like I said, sir, this time I was so desperate that I kept myself a target that I should complete at least 1,000 questions before the mains. And I've completed almost 1,200 questions before mains that from various mock tests. I completed about 1,200 questions. And that made me and that instilled me a confidence that I can crack this objective. So, in a nutshell, I'll be saying that first go through the previous year question, make a rough understanding from what are the flagship schemes NABARD is asking, then practice as much as you can, and give the same level of importance that you are giving to descriptive. This is something I did as a mistake last year that I gave more importance to descriptive, but in NABARD, all three are equally important. Whether it is English or it is objective, it is as equally important as it is we are giving for descriptive. That's it.
And now I think we have talked about the both phase one and phase two. The next important pillar will be our interview. And now,
Yes.
guys, you will be seeing an image in front of us. Mr. Akshay going for his interview in front of the NABARD office. He's standing in front there. So now tell me a little bit about your interview. That how many mocks you have given before the when you have gone towards the final interview, and were there any insights that you have got from the interview, the mocks that you have given, which when you entered the interview, the questions have been asked, and that was the same thing that you have been practicing, and you felt happy. Okay, this is something that have been asked to me now, and I'm prepared for that.
So, yeah, so after the mains itself, I started reading the annual report of NABARD because I felt that this time I might qualify the mains. So I was having that confidence that I should start preparing the annual report. So I started preparing the annual report. I started reading it. But initially it was like very dry type of document that I couldn't understand anything. But later on, I was getting it that, they are they are highlighting the functions, the role of NABARD, the area it was. So I started getting interested. And at the same time, I prepared notes from the videos of NABARD from their own YouTube channel. From there, we can make slight notes. We can point out it, them as examples where NABARD is working. Not and it is not just restricted in to a certain state, but it is the in a it is in a pan Indian level, whether it be the Northeast India or it is the Northwest or the northern states of Jammu Kashmir or something. NABARD is like a have a pan India approach. So from there we can point out examples in a pan India approach. So that has made me very much beneficial. And the first mock interview I've given was a EduTap's interview, and it was also very good because the sir has given me great guidance that and he actually told me that I'm sure that you will be selected. And I still remember, and I feel proud, like he told me, for brilliant boys like you should also prepare certain parts of the NABARD Act. That was actually very good. Like he has instilled me a certain confidence that I could crack this. I can crack this interview. So it was very much supportive from the side of EduTap also. And I think I have given 4 to 5 mock tests. I think that is enough. And regarding interview, I think you should be very well prepared about your background. Uh, there might be questions that you are not aware about, but you should be very much thorough with your background, because if there is a question with your background and you are not knowing it well, then it can create a bad impression. So you should be, if, especially for the working candidates, you should be very well thorough about your work, your firm, and its function. And does it have any relation with an award? You should be very much thorough. And for agri graduate, you should be in a good connection with your RAWE. You should go and revise all your projects, what you have done, especially in the last 2 semesters. And there should be a comparison between your the area where you have done your graduation. In my case, it was Nagpur, and there was a comparison. Not that was not asked to me, but my fellow aspirant. There was a comparison, like what are the problems faced in Nagpur by the farmers of Nagpur, and that of Kerala, that of our Malappuram. So like that, you should prepare. But my interview was mostly on an analytical point of view. But it was nothing like I was afraid. I was totally cool. And I was confident that after going through all these mocks, I can answer it well. All I need is the presence of mind, and as much cool as I can, then I was sure that I'll be giving the best. So that was the only thing in my mind. I should be cool. I should be chill, like I am now. Then I can do greater in the
No,
great something great in the interview.
I think one thing to even I can say is with what sir has told you in mock interview, because your calmness and the way you are presenting yourself, I think these are kind of students that might be the thing that even the examiners
Yeah.
will be wanting, or the interviews will be wanting, or this is the guy we want in NABARD. That is one thing. And as you mentioned about the interview, because there are sometimes which when we are having confidence on ourselves, but when we go to the interview, there are always some kind of questions as you have talked about, because they might be asking you on your agriculture background or on the things that you have done. So if I talk about when you sit in the exam, sit in the interview, so in your opinion, what do you feel that the interviewers are watching in you? Because the people will have a knowledge, but they will be they will be seeing something. So I want to hear from you, because you are a very chilled guy. So what sort of atmosphere was there when you have entered that interview room?
Yeah, so it was my first experience, and it was my first interview also. So unlike other interviews, NABARD interviews in the form of video conference. So initially there was a doubt in my case, like where is the TV, where I have to sit, where I have to speak, whether there will be a mic provider. But luckily, the cordial HRMD department of NABARD has guided us very well that you should sit here. The mic will be on the table. You can sit in a relaxed manner, and like that, the interview has started. And I felt that it's our presence of mind, that they are checking our presence of mind, because if we have said something, the question will be followed up from what we have said. It's not like they will be asking something at random. It will be always from what we have been said. Or in my case, I have mentioned financial inclusion. So there were questions from financial inclusion. I have mentioned the supervisory role of NABARD. So there were questions from supervisory role of NABARD. Then there were also questions like what is the difference between regional rural bank, rural cooperative bank. And also, so my whole interview was revolved around what I have said to them. So you should be having a great presence of mind, and you should be very aware about what you are speaking to them. If you are speaking something that you don't have any idea about that, then it will be a problem for you, I guess. So always think before you speak in case of interview, but you don't need to be panicked or you don't need to be tense. Even if you don't know, you can say that, sorry ma'am or sorry sir, I didn't know that. I'm unaware about that. Uh, I will be having a knowledge on later or something like I cannot recollect at the moment, sorry sir, like that. It is completely all right. They are not at all checking your level of knowledge right now. They are just checking your personality and especially the presence of mind. That's it.
And now I think we have talked about this whole preparation, but in this whole preparation, you have, first of all, I am really thankful that EduTap has played a very important role in this whole journey of your preparation. But because you are an ardent follower of EduTap, you have followed the documents, you have followed the YouTube sessions, the faculties that you have followed. So that, if I ask you three best things that you felt EduTap is best at, and also on the other hand, the three things which you feel because you are an ardent follower, you felt that these are three things where we must improve.
Sir, if I have a chance to say three times scheme step, I'll be saying three best thing will be scheme step. But for the sake of this, I'll be saying the first thing, obviously, the scheme step. And the second thing, the quality of the classes you are guys are providing, especially the quant and reasoning, like I mentioned, the quality and the dedication of faculties, it is very top notch. And the third thing, the what we can say, the platform of that EduTap is very user friendly. We can easily navigate through our sessions, and that's the main three things I should say. The positive side of EduTap, and like suggestions, like I've said, you can give the Schemes tab as a separate course. Like people will be there to purchase it. Next, I will say that the platform, like I said, it is great, but it feels more like a mechanical, like it's a computer, we are saying. So I think you can give a little bit human approach to it. Like if there is a online doubt clearing session is going on, like a chat or something is going through the site, it will be a little bit easier. I'm not saying it's bad or something. It will be a little bit easier. Like an online chat room is also provided within the platform. It will be easier that the students can discuss with their tutors or with the faculty at the moment itself. And remaining everything, I think there is no need of any other suggestion. These are enough. EduTap is top notch for regulatory preparation. It's the
I think
best.
I think now the students who will be watching that they will be somehow saying, I have bribed you. You have
No,
talked
no.
lot and lot about schemes. Time. I think there will be many students who will be feeling, okay, I might have bribed you because you have talking a lot about this document.
No, no. This is actually my experience because once you have been through Scheme Stack and you have been through any other scheme related documents, I'm sure you'll be coming back to Scheme Stack because it is very easier. It is very like understandable and very readable also. It will keep you to read schemes. It will make you schemes less boring with the Scheme Stack.
And I think one thing that when we were talking here is he said me that when he used to watch my video, used to say said I do not know remember your exact name, but I always used to say that TKG sir is here.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's actually an honor for me, sir, that I'm sharing a small space of our video conference with you, like my mentor, like my one of I'm an admirer of your class, sir. Like the way you say about the schemes, and after every sentence you will be saying that TKG, TKG every time. That is something very much like this is a memorable day for me. Like I've talked to with my favorite mentor, with my favorite. Image from EduTap. That is something very honorable for me, sir.
I think, but it's not your pleasure. Pleasure is all mine. I am talking to such a fantastic
Thank you.
person who has cleared this examination with such a positive attitude. And it's not just about your positive attitude. The thing is that it looks that yes, I am chilled out, but you are really, really, you have lived this examination. You have
Yes,
got
yes, yes.
into in depth of everything that you have that this examination requires. And if we end this session, I want you to give some suggestions for those students who will be appearing for this examination, because you are a chilled person. You have enjoyed your life. You have given the whole time to this examination, and you are very much onto this thing that, okay, this is the only goal I have. That is NABARD examination. So, what is one advice you want to give to the students that they must follow if they are preparing for this examination?
Yeah, like I said, this is just an examination. You all aspirants should keep in mind that this is just an examination, and all you need to do is just preparation, nothing else. You don't need to lose your favorite things. Like in the first attempt, I'm an Instagram guy. I've installed my Instagram during first preparation, which is not required. This time I was having Instagram along with my preparation. I quit gym during my last preparation. It is also not required. I still remember the immediate day before my mains and my interview. I was there at the gym at the evening. So you don't need to kit all those things to prepare for this exam. If you are giving particularly sincere preparation, then that is all enough. You don't need to kit anything else. And the next thing I'll be saying that prepare more in a mains approach, mains format. You should not, your goal should be clear in the exam and not clearing the prelims. That was one mistake I did the first time. My goal was to clear the prelims, not the exam. Your goal should be clearing the whole exam and not just prelims. And the next thing and the final thing I have to say that don't take decision making and computer lightly. They can take a toll on your examination results because they are very, very important. Because I've seen many of my fellow aspirants using only
I think you got mute, Akshay. Yes, you can continue the same point. Hello.
hello, sir.
Uh, yes, you're audible
Hello,
now,
sir.
Akshay. Hello, hello. You're audible now. I think your mic got, maybe your earphones got disconnected.
Yes, sir. Just a second, sir. Hello?
Hello. Now it's connected now. Hello.
Ah,
Yes, yes.
okay. So, where do you want me to start from again?
You
From
can
where?
restart it again. This question, the final question. Let me again ask you
Okay.
this question. Let me again ask you this question here.
So,
I if I
yeah. That
sum
will
up
be
here,
easy.
that is, Akshay, it's really been a great, because as I've just mentioned, the pleasure is all mine. Okay, to sit in front of those candidates who
Yes,
are
yes, yes, yes.
giving wholehearted to this examination, and listening to you, I think many aspirants will feel that it's not about your attitude, your positiveness, but it's all about that you are a chilled guy, but you have given your heart out to this examination. You know each and everything till which extent I have to go. So I want, when we conclude this session, what are the three things which you will definitely share with those aspirants, because there will be some students who always think of, okay, I do not have to enjoy my personal life because I have an examination in front of me. Should
Yes,
I
yes,
go
yes,
to
yes,
gym?
yes, yes.
Should I watch a movie? If I have watched a movie, I think I am far behind my preparation. So what should be the things for those candidates? Your final comment on that.
Yes, sir. So I'll be first suggesting you that all those aspirants take this exam as an exam, nothing more, nothing less. This is just an exam, and you don't need to give up on all other things like gym, your social media, your other social life, including movie, date nights, or something like that. You have to just keep on an account, or you have to just keep on uh, note that you are doing everything fine, that you are giving sincere preparation, you are giving a wholehearted preparation. That itself is all enough because I had made some mistakes in my first attempt, like uninstalling Instagram, quitting gym, which were all unnecessary. This time I had all these Instagram, everything, and at the same time, gym was also there. I can say that the immediate day before of my interview and my mains examination, I was there at the gym doing my favorite workouts. So you don't need to kit all this. That will be my first suggestion. That this is an exam. You don't need to kit anything else, provided you are preparing sincerely and you are giving all your heart for the preparation. The next thing I will be saying that you uh, have to give more importance that you should not take lightly the decision making and the computer part, because they are very, very important for this examination. And last but not the least, you should be focusing on clearing the exam and not clearing any particular stage. Your focus should be clearing the whole NABARD Grade A examination, because the main mistake I did my first attempt was my focus was to clear the prelims. You should not be like that. You should clear the whole examination. And I can suggest you should go in a mains approach, so that you can cover the schemes, the ARD, the descriptive, everything in the first. And gradually, after the notification out, you can easily focus on the prelims side. So your focus should be, in a nutshell, it should be three, like it is an exam. Take it as an exam. Don't stress out. Enjoy the other things, your social life and all. And second, your goal should be clearing the whole exam, not just stages. And third, you should not give light, or you should not give less importance to this decision making and computer. This is what I have to say, sir.
I think it was really, really nice talking to you, Akshay. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that the dream that you have left has
Yes,
now
yes.
conquered. Is there anything now? The next step forward.
I don't know what to say, sir. I'm still reliving these moments that I like that. हो गया, like I'm feeling like हो गया बस हो गया अपना exam हो गया, like that is the feeling right now I'm having. So I don't know what else is coming or something like that. And it's really an honor for me to be here with a session with you, sir. And thank you to EduTap for this opportunity and for supporting me with all these great scheme snap like documents. I am always in debt with you guys. Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you so
it's pleasure is all mine. I think now Akshay has kind of fumed one thing that you want the suggestion that you've given. I will definitely have a call. I will definitely
much.
discuss
Yes,
that
yes,
thing with the senior management. So it's
yes,
nice,
yes.
really nice talking to you, Akshay, and I I wish you all the best, buddy.
Thank you so much, sir.